Have you ever dealt with existentialism? And have you ever asked questions that might have no point being asked? Well then, my friends, you and I might get along well. Today is Favorite Fridays with Tim. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about why I decided to read this behemoth of a book, why I ended up loving it, and why I would never recommend it. To start off, I had a question of how consciousness exists. How is it that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts? How is it that carbon and nitrogen, through its various permutations, can then build up a neuron, which can then build up our brain, our consciousness, me? Even though I don't know what me is, I know what me is. You see, around this time when I started having these questions more explicitly being asked by myself, I was recommended this book by Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg is listening at this very moment, people. Anyway, as is best practice, let's start with judging a book by its cover. This is a beautiful cover, and it's such a great foreshadowing and intentional thematic thing about what this whole book is about. You see, Douglas R. Hofstadter, through his Eternal Golden Braid, tries to tie in the perspectives of Gödel, a mathematician that explores the paradoxes within our own mathematical logic, Escher, an artist who explores the paradoxes within our visual logic, and Bach, a composer that explores the various patterns within canons and fugues. Douglas R. Hofstadter, with his Eternal Golden Braid, tries to tie all those perspectives together to better answer this question of what is consciousness. And boy oh boy, is this a great book. The format follows dialogues between Achilles and Tortoise, these two characters, interposed with sections of content. And oftentimes the dialogues serve as a little taster or teaser or a real-life application of the concepts that will be later explored. As far as what this book is actually about, here is my own summary of the book. Have you ever heard of that phrase, "this statement is false," and racked your head thinking, if this statement is false, then it must be true, and then if it's true, then it must be false, and it goes back and forth into an infinite regress? Well, Douglas R. Hofstadter is saying that that paradox is present in any form of logic, whether it's math, art, or music. It's present, and actually the stronger the form of logic, the more strong and sound that paradox. Further, Douglas R. Hofstadter says that somewhere within that paradox, somewhere within this infinite regress, is where consciousness lays, an ability to self-reference itself. Now, let's extend this a little bit further. Let's say instead of numbers with 1, 2, 3 to infinity, or letters from A, B, C through Z, what if those letters shifted to A, T, U, and C, G? What if it was our own genetic material? Our own genetic material also references itself through messenger RNA, transcriptomes, transcription factors, everything. Through our own genetic material, we are able to introduce paradoxes where we can self-reference. And as a result, we can make a paradox through our neuronal connections and figures as well. It's just an extension, an abstraction. It's crazy. And so Douglas R. Hofstadter is basically saying that through these various abstractions and layers of paradoxes, that is where our consciousness can arise from. I absolutely loved this book. It changed the way that I thought about things, whatever that means. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So now, why would I never recommend this book? Well, it sort of feels like that one guy in the friend group that says, "Yo guys, let's watch Schindler's List." Like, Schindler's List, don't get me wrong, is an amazing movie, but you don't watch it with your friends. Like, that's not what you recommend. You don't sing Amazing Grace or Ave Maria on karaoke night, unless if you're super, like, hammered. That's just stuff you don't do, and I feel like this book is just a lot. It's a lot to go through, and why would I want to do this to my friend? So, if you end up reading this book and enjoying it, just remember that I didn't recommend it to you. Anyway, with that being said, do you guys have a book or a form of media that you would never recommend to another living soul because it's so painful to go through, even though you really appreciate it at the end of the day? What is that? I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Regardless, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one with this new format called Favorite Fridays with Tim.